Well, I mean, back in the day, we probably would have. I came back to run the store in the early 1990s, and I believe I had about 6 or 7 employees at that point. And we would have two cash registers going. People would be coming in every, Friday after work, all through the weekend. We had tickets for all kinds of concerts, and Reed's was kind of like the happening place for all the newest music that's coming out when people were dependent on actual physical product. So if we would be bustling, Christmas time probably would be the busiest time of year. I mean, it would just be from start to finish, from sun up to sundown. We would just be swamped in here. People coming from all over the Bay Area. I think Reed's. I don't think Reed's is so much um, critical to Oakland or to Berkeley or the Bay Area. I think Reed's story is mostly one of longevity and service, and that black enterprise can be thrive and be supported by the black community, not being reliant on any other. Because I mean, if it wasn't for African American clientele here, Reed's would not have existed, and it would not exist today. I mean, I was back in the '90s. I was like the number one choir robe seller for Murphy Cap and Gown in California, and I basically had no white choirs ask me for robes. I mean, they wore robes, but they tended to gravitate to where they wanted to gravitate. So it's always been probably 98% black clientele that supported this store for 74 years, and I think that's to be commended, not by Reed's, but by our community. The neighborhood in the last, I would say, oh goodness, since the probably mid 90s has changed dramatically. South Berkeley was basically a black enterprise zone and a black, basically, neighborhoods. And it has changed. Gentrification has taken over. All the most main black businesses have gone, been replaced by housing or just not replaced. So it's kind of like the area has gone the way the demographic has changed. Berkeley is South Berkeley is no longer mainly a black neighborhood anymore. It's like I said, it's been gentrified. So there's very few black businesses here that was left. Back in the day, we had doctors and lawyers and restaurants, of course, pool halls. I mean, there was things going on up and down the street 24 hours a day, but now it's become very quiet and culturally very sparse. My prayer for future generations is to not make the mistakes, to allow the same things to happen to you that have been happening to my generation and generations previously. Um, African Americans, I know we've achieved a lot of things in a lot of ways, but it's with gentrification, there's nowhere you can point where we are. I mean, if you go to any city nowadays and you go to look at Martin Luther King Boulevard, there's none of us there. We don't live there anymore. It's like a tombstone. This is where black people used to be. And I think that's a tragedy.